Hello and good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 525. That's a good one. My camera appears to be a little. There we go. There we go. Was not used to that angle. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy March Madness Day. First round games. Cheers to that. First sip of coffee. It's so good. This is the Highlander Grog from Door County. It's the coffee. I need to expand my local coffees or gourmet coffees a little more. I just tend to go. I kind of flip back and forth between the Highlander Grog from Door County, the Peanut Butter Crunch from Door County, and just regular old Trader Joe's. Which, by the way, hidden gem Trader Joe's, amazing stuff, great food, great prices. Not a commercial. So I'll stop. What's up, Ed? Happy March Madness Day to you. Jenny, good morning. Uncle Rich with us. Zach, what's up? George is here. I will speak a good morning today. I was here yesterday, but only listening. Awesome. Well, glad to have you along. Good morning. So as you see in the thumbnail, the Goodwill Mike Trout rookie card sold. So I'm gonna talk about that. Why did I list it on eBay? What did it sell for? Why did I sell it? And so much more. OG Card Scammer, good morning. Rise and shine. Oh, it is. It's St. Patrick's Day, and I'm not wearing any green. Nothing. No green on me. Pinch me. I'm not wearing any green. Wearing the Cubby blue today. Diego, what's up? Abraham, I love Ancora Coffee, local to Madison. Abe, thank you. I'm gonna check that out. Where can I find Ancora Coffee? I need to try that. Cooter's with us. What's up, Cooter? Dan, Herman. We've got a packed show. Or a packed chat room, I should say. Packed chat room. So it is March Madness Day. I'm just searching for an electric scooter for the hottest summer months for my daily commute. Johnny Boy Cards, what's up? Very cool. I'm itching. We had like 65 degrees here yesterday. It was so awesome. Oh, it was so good. And it got to be like 5:30. Went upstairs and I'm like, "Do you want to grill? Let's grill." Now my wife doesn't eat. She's not really a red meat eater. Basically chicken and fish. But she makes these like meatloaf burgers and I don't like them. Because there's like panko, ketchup, barbecue sauce, an egg, and it's a whole lot going on, and it tastes more like meatloaf than a hamburger. I like the taste of just the ground beef. Basically, all I season my burger with is black pepper, just ground black pepper. Sometimes I'll put a little seasoning in it, but or some ranch, a ranch packet. I like that. So I just went with I think I did a little I think it was Omaha steak hamburger seasoning is what I used with some black pepper and then just ketchup. And I did do some onions on my burger. And I know a lot of people don't like onions. So what I did, it wasn't a raw onion that I put on it because usually that gives me upsets my innards. So what I did with the onions is I made a foil bag and I chopped them up and I made rings, I don't know, 10, 12 onion rings, not breaded, and threw them in a foil packet with some butter, laid them on the top of the grill, and then so they get like soft. So buttered onion on top of the burger, very good. And you had that I love the summertime conversations with your neighbors. And I don't have neighbors that we just like walk over and grab a beer out of their fridge. And like, we don't have neighbors like that here in the neighborhood. So, but we're all like, if we're out in the backyard or, we're outside doing yard work, you have the neighbor conversation. Hey, nice weather today. That type of thing. So my neighbor and we have new neighbors. They just moved in last summer, I think. So I've only talked to him a few times, but you had that neighbor, the grilling conversation. We're both out on the grill on the back patios, and he was doing some chicken. I was doing the burgers, and it's like, talking about how nice the weather is, and it's nice fresh air. We had some windows open, getting that fresh air in. Today we've got basketball on all day. We've got, I think, almost 25 people in the Hobby Evolution bragging rights challenge for the brackets. So if you haven't, please get it. You have about 3-4 hours left. First game is Michigan versus Colorado State. I'm looking forward to that matchup. Uh, and I was confident the Wolverines would make a little run, Sweet 16. They're without their point guard today, so that could give them a little trouble against Colorado State, who's a pretty good team. Um, so that'll be that. That's a game that I want to watch. There's a what Iowa plays this afternoon. I'm really interested to watch Iowa play. So I can see, now. I didn't pick this in my bracket, but here's something I could potentially see because March is crazy. There's like voodoo magic during March Madness. And it's like this voodoo magic picks up on storylines and like makes the unthinkable happen. Okay. So here's my unthinkable March Madness voodoo magic for Thursday today. Now, remember, I was wrong about Wyoming. I was wrong about Wyoming. So let's see if I can hit five. I don't want to bat 500 because I've got the Iowa Hawkeyes going to the Elite Eight in my bracket. But I think there's a chance for some March Madness voodoo magic. And here's why. The Richmond Spiders would not have made this NCAA tournament without winning their conference championship on Sunday. They kept panning to the head coach's family. They were like in tears. Like, I mean, it was unreal. Like the emotion of the Richmond, I don't even know his name, the Richmond head coach's family, like his wife, his kids, other family members. And it was just like they kept panning to the emotional family of the Richmond head coach going to the big dance. They're a 12 seed. 12-5 matchup. Iowa, all of these ESPN people, Iowa, Final Four, they're the hottest team. What happens to the hottest teams in March Madness? Usually it's like hottest team, boom, check, check, Sharpie, Sharpie, Sharpie. This could be a trap. This could be a trap, and that voodoo March Madness magic could shine on Richmond and the Spiders. I don't want to see it happen, but I think it could. Could Richmond pull it off and down Iowa and ruin brackets and bust brackets on Thursday afternoon? I think it could happen. But remember, I'm wrong more than I'm right when it comes to the March Madness tournament with the NCAA tournament. So I'm going to go to the chat. Let's see. We have beautiful temps at the moment. George is in Korea. But in a couple of months, you'll feel like you never left the shower, and the 2.5-mile walk to work would be swampy. Thank you all in advance for your vote later in the 108 tourney. I will send out the poll later. Retweets and endorsements about my better than awful personality. Zach, you have a wrench. Go ahead. If it's live right now, I don't know if it is. Post that link in the chat, or at least post the link to the Twitter profile that's running the tournament. Zach says, I have no chance in winning, but that is why we play the game. Absolutely. Abraham, I go to the one on Sherman. They have locations in University and King Street. I think Whole Foods carries them, and Woodman seems to have everything. Interesting. Okay. I will keep an eye out on that. And Cora, I'm going to look that up. Let's see. Jenny wants to be tagged in on the 108 tourney. Dan says, is your wife the type of person to invite new neighbors over for dinner? No, she's actually the exact opposite, which is funny because she's in real estate. No, she would prefer to not talk to neighbors. Like, I know all the neighbors. I go out, I know and actually, in all honesty, I know the dogs' names more than I know the people, more than I know the neighbors. Like our next door neighbor who I was talking with last night about grilling. I can't remember his name, but I know their dog's name is Hope. And I think Hope is deaf. because when I see Hope outside and I say, "Hi, Hope," she doesn't even know I'm out there. So poor Hope. Um, I just learned of another neighbor's name, but I knew that her two dogs are Rosie and Lucy. And I know the neighborhood dogs' names, but I just don't remember the people's names. Um, I'm kind of a dogs over people person, also. I like the dogs more than I like people. The key to a good grill burger is to butter the bun and toast it on the grill. I do enjoy that. I did not do that last night, but on occasion I will do that. But I don't think I don't know if I've buttered the bun on the grill. I'll have to try that. Diego's going with Villanova. They're in the Michigan bracket. I think I have Villanova in my final four. I believe Arizona's in that bracket. I think Arizona's the one, Villanova's the two, if I'm not mistaken. Ed says, got my bracket in. First one I've done since the pandemic hit. Very cool. I'll be having shipping madness today. Apparently, I learned the trick to sales. 392 cards moved in 36 hours. That's freaking awesome. I had a much better day Wednesday, but also, guess what I did Wednesday yesterday? I added about 300 cards to my store. Poof, the store opens and I get sales. And it wasn't, surprisingly, I added all those cards to my eBay store, but most of those didn't sell. I think I only sold 2 or 3 cards. It was all other cards. So I think just that boost in, like, boom, 300 cards, it drives in that extra traffic and other things move. George says, you find me a bracket that doesn't require me creating an account and I'll join. I know the feeling, George. I hate signing up. What I do is I'll create, like, just fake emails. Not fake, but I'll just make up an email like, you know, bode1789234 and I'll just use that for, like, that this is my CBS sports line. And then I'll just save it. And then if I go back and I have to create it and I'll forget, like, username, password, I have to create another one. I get it. It's annoying. But George, just do it, okay? So you can join the fun, because we're going to be talking tomorrow morning about how our brackets are doing. I don't need any more spam email that I already get. Create a second, create another email, and problem solved. Robert, good morning. Rich, I refer to my neighbors as Angel's mom, Rudy's dad. There you go. Rich and I are on the same page. It's not just me. It's not live yet. Twitter is from the 108. There you go. Zach is in the 108 tourney, so vote for Zach. Let's see. Next time you approach your neighbor, call them by their dog's name. Wouldn't that be funny? Oh, that would be funny. That would be funny. I'm surprised your wife isn't on the welcoming committee, being in real estate, ABC, and leads. I know. And what's crazy is, like, she has to turn down leads because she's that busy, despite not being social. I'm the social one, and I sit in my basement all day as the social one. Although I am kind of a, I'm in. I think there's a term for it. It's like it's because I'm an introverted extrovert, or I'm an extroverted introvert. I'm something like that, because I'm not always. I'm very reserved at times. But sometimes I'll work a room. Other times I just kind of want to be left to my own. I'm seeing every time there's a baseball move, boom, Matt Olson cards get cleared out. Boom, Chris Bryant cleared out. See, and I think that's why my sales have been down, because what I've been adding lately to my eBay store has been a lot of football and basketball. So I need to get on the horse with my baseball additions to my eBay store. Maybe I'll tackle that today. I need to get shipping done this morning. But then when the games start, I'm creating more quarter boxes for Saturday's card show. By the way, this Saturday, Madison, Wisconsin, Sheraton Hotel, 80 tables sold out. All new fresh boxes. I took 4 to Rockford. So if you were not at the Rockford card show, there's 4 new boxes. There's going to be an additional 2, hopefully 3, see how much I can get done. I finished another baseball box last night. I'm about halfway through a basketball box, and then I'll probably do that would give me two of each sport. So then I might do another baseball. I'm just going to go through and find what I have that I can just quickly throw in quarter boxes. So Madison Card Show this Saturday. Um, let's see. Sorry, have not done a bracket in 20 years, and even with these friends, not yet. Rich is not ready. I have the song High Hopes in my head now. Herman's first bracket. Wow. Herman, we are just opening you up first bracket, first flight coming up in a month. Bo, you are probably like me, don't love to see people, but put us in the card show, card people atmosphere, and we're with our people. That's exactly how it is. You put me in a room of like if I go to an event for my wife with real estate, I'll just kind of just go with the flow and kind of stand there, nod. But if you put me in a card show, I'm gonna work that room. So, Rich, you were exactly right. That's how I my personality is. If I'm with my people, my card people, I'm on. But if I'm in a with a group of strangers outside of the card world, then it's kind of like, talk to me and I'll talk back. Freddie Freeman living the Dodgers life now. That's going to be a man. A potent lineup got even more potent in LA. I put the football on the shelf till July. I got enough listed. Baseball is fire. I need to follow suit. And well, actually, here's why I listed a bunch of football yesterday. So I listed some football over the weekend. I think over the weekend of some newer stuff like Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, some of those guys, Joe Burrow. And I had a few left over. I'm like, I need to put some stuff in my eBay store. So I wanted to finish that pile of football cards. And then what shows up on my doorway yesterday, I bought a bunch of lots, 70s singles from a local auction, in Illinois auction. And so it was 73 tops football, 74 tops football, 75 tops football, 76 tops football, and like 74 tops basketball. Also some of the Fleer stickers, which move. I got the Fleer stickers for about a penny a piece. The vintage football, I think the average price was about a dime a piece. So I wanted to get those listed since it was kind of top of mind and get those moved. So that's why I put so much football in my eBay store yesterday and last night, because I had a couple thousand vintage football cards arrive yesterday. So that's where I posted some funny 73 tops football has some awesome names. Awesome names. You better hope Lessing finds value in that sponsorship. Works on the street. Is she open to another card show deal? Yeah, right. I think I'm good. Love this early morning daily content and chat. Fun way to start the morning. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Abraham says, pretty sure Lauren and I will hit the show on Saturday. Awesome. Let me know what you're looking for. If you're looking for Brewers, I'll try to stash a bunch of Brewers in the boxes or anything else. I did add some. I ripped open, so I bought a case of 2021 Heritage Miners during the blowout Black Friday sale. And I was just going to leave it sealed, but it's been one of those things where there's a lot of redemptions in this product. And I think Topps redemptions now it's only 2 years. So likely it's not going to come to like full value in time for the redemptions. And then if they're outdated redemptions, it's like, well, the case isn't worth anything. So it's like, I'll probably just have to end up ripping these cases. So I'm going to spring training next week. I'm putting together my autograph book to get autographs. And mostly what I do is prospects on the minor league field. It's much easier to get autographs. Excuse me. So I couldn't find, because right behind me, all of those boxes, all of that wall, and splayed out onto the floor, the boxes are my Cubs cards, 750,000 of them, and they're not organized. So I know that the Heritage Miners and the Bowman Draft, they're probably on the top, but I haven't come across many of them. So it's like there's a bunch of prospect cards that I don't have in my autograph pile yet. So I ripped open the case and I busted open 2 boxes of the Heritage Miners. So I'm putting the reason I share that story is because I'm putting a bunch of the singles from that set in my quarter boxes. So and then I pulled some Wander Francos. I'll put those in my eBay store. So actually, now that I think of it, some of those bigger names I'll throw in my eBay store later today. Maybe do, I don't know, 50 cards today, because I won't have the time that I did yesterday. Um, I think you're fine with your buddies at Bar Trivia. That's why I'm the wise Uncle Rich. Will Freeman went to the Dodgers. Yet last night they finalized it. How do you pull for a player on a team you hate? That's fortunately I'm not in that. I don't really. Well, actually, yes, I do. I hate the Cardinals. But the Yankees, like I root against the Yankees for the most part. Um, but Rizzo with the Yankees, I still root for Rizzo. Like you can find a happy medium where you want the player to succeed on the team, but you don't really want the team to succeed. It's kind of one of those things. And you can kind of root for player performance. So I do that with Rizzo, and he re-upped with the Yankees. Chris Bryant to the Rockies? What the hell happened there? That was bizarre. So my buddy Neil lives out in Colorado. He's a diehard Cubs fan. But he also he goes to a lot of Rockies games living there. And so we've been, texting back and forth, the last couple of weeks about spring training, baseball, and free agency. And he was like kind of licking his chops at the prospect of Kyle Schwarber getting signed by the Rockies. Now Schwarber signed with the Phillies. But can you imagine Kyle Schwarber hitting bombs at Coors Field? He would be he would have been a 50 home run hitter for sure. I mean, he still could do it with any other team, but I think in that air he could have hit 50 pretty easily. So then he texted me yesterday afternoon. In fact, I was on my way to the grocery store to pick up the hamburger meat, and he's like, Chris Bryant to the Rockies, wow, or something like that. And I'm like, are you for real? Like, I thought it was a joke, like, because he wants Chris Bryant to sign with the Rockies living out there. And like, holy crap. Like, Nolan Arenado, arguably a better player than Chris Bryant. And that was like the whole thing, 2 years ago, pre-pandemic. Who's the better third baseman, Nolan Arenado or Chris Bryant? Most people would say, and the stats would say, Nolan Arenado. He was not happy in Colorado. They get rid of him. Now they get Chris Bryant. Like, what's going on? I don't understand what's going on out there. Just kind of a weird signing, in my opinion. And I think I saw one of the not beat reporters, but one of the big baseball media guys said the shock value on Bryant to the Rockies on a scale of 1 to 10 is an 11. So that was just weird. But I don't dislike the Rockies. Like, there's not too many teams I dislike. So I don't mind that. Like, I'm going to root for Chris Bryant to have a lot of success in Colorado. Javi Baez, my favorite player, he's in Detroit. They're in the American League, so I can root for Javi. I've got some friends that are Tigers fans, so it'll give me a reason to follow them a little more closely, and we can talk Tiger baseball. But if anybody signed with the Cardinals, that would be a hard pill to swallow. That could be like you're to the Dodgers to you could be like the Cardinals to me. So I would find that very hard. Like, I would not be able to take Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, or Javi Baez in a Cardinals uniform. Just, I want to go shower. It makes me feel dirty thinking of one of my favorite players in a Cardinals uniform. Sorry, St. Louis fans. That's the problem with the game. You got to either be a team fan or a player fan. At least they ain't the Yanks, though. Brian just wants to pad stats to get in the Hall of Fame. Plus, the money was good. Yeah, the money was decent. The rumor, and I don't know if this was ever confirmed, but the Cubs offer 2 years ago, rumored. I don't know if it was ever confirmed, was more than what he got with Colorado. So I have a long Cubs chat, Twitter DM with a bunch of Cubs collectors and fans, and that was kind of what we were talking. Like the numbers that the Cubs offered some of the players were more than what they received. But that's kind of, sometimes you take a chance and you win. Sometimes you take a chance and you don't. Oh, there was a comment that I wanted to add on to. Um, maybe not. Oh, was it team fan or players fan? I had a thought on something, and I think it was that, but now I can't remember what I was thinking. Cooter says I'm a lifelong Giants fan, and now my hometown team is the Dodgers AAA. I go to games only to hate watch. That's awesome. Always looking for Brewers. Otherwise, favorite player, odds and ends. White Sox and A's too. Lauren looks for pop culture and Jesus Aguilar. Awesome. I will. I'll keep an eye out because I plan on. I'll probably make another baseball box today as I'm watching. I'm watching games. That's what's on the docket today. Shipping this morning, and then as soon as 11 hits, I want to go out in the rec room has become my sorting area because I've ran out of room here in the card room, but the TV's also out there. So I like to sort as I'm watching TV, and I'm interested in that Michigan game. So that's the beauty of working from home. Now, I worked from home during the pandemic. In fact, so we didn't have a tournament in 2020, but we did have a tournament last year. And I was working from home last year, but I really didn't watch, during the day. I would have it on, but I was always in the office. Like I wasn't like watching the games. I could overhear it, but it's just not the same as like actually, consuming it. Remember there was also that contentious issue of Bryant being called that I think that really soured. And I think that was Scott Boras. I think Scott Boras got into Chris Bryant's head about that. I don't think Chris Bryant initially had any issues with it. But I think Scott Boras really fed that beast and really made it a bigger issue to Bryant than what it was to Bryant, if that makes any sense. I think that was a lot of Scott Boras in his ear. And while I'm on the players' side, the Cubs hit the day perfectly, and contract is the contract. And don't discount how much someone is pissed at management. I think Boras really and Cubs management has not been. It hasn't been. I haven't been a big fan of how the team and the upper management has handled things since 2016. I'll just put it like that. I'm 1,000% sure I sold an Anthony Bender rookie to a family member, same last name and same city, state as he is from. It's always fun to sell cards to people. I actually sold a card to oh gosh. Did you mention the Cubs? Sia Suzuki. Yeah, Sia Suzuki signed with the Cubs. I was super stoked about that signing. Very excited for Suzuki. I am drawing Keith Olbermann. I sold a card to Keith Olbermann probably 2 months ago. And it was a low doubt. Like you see Keith Olbermann has this like huge collection of really expensive cards, and he bought a cheapie from me. So I thought that was really cool. And I know it was him because I actually Googled, and his eBay username is out. Like it's well known who he is and what his username is on eBay and all that. Ed sold cards to Walker Bueller's dad. That's cool. I think so. It wasn't Walker Bueller. I had a bunch of Carson Fulmer cards, and his uncle bought a ton. Carson Fulmer's uncle bought a ton of Carson Fulmer cards off me. What state is he in? I'm not sure who you're talking about. Keith Olbermann is in New York, if you're asking about Keith Olbermann. Or maybe you're asking Jenny about Anthony Bender. Just dropped the kids off at school. I'm excited to see the title for you selling the Trout. Can't wait to listen to the first half of the show. DR, if you're still listening, I haven't even scratched the surface. I haven't even begun to talk about the Trout sale. Merkel 923 lives. Yes, that is it. And I just sold another card to, um, gosh, I can't remember if it was, I think it was a baseball rookie card, and it was the same name as the player. And sometimes people like change their name. So you really don't, in some instances, you really don't know, um, who they are. But it's always fun to see those pop up. Okay, let's talk about the Mike Trout sale. Speaking of eBay and sales, the Mike Trout rookie card has sold. I sat behind Mrs. and Mr. Pryor behind home plate at a Cubs game where Mark Pryor pitched at. Even as a Sox fan, that was really cool. Oh, heck yeah, that's awesome. I had a player's mom ask to buy the player's KBO custom card from my KBO set, but couldn't help out because it's sold out. That's cool. Um, so the Trout rookie sold. The Goodwill Trout rookie. I'm sure you know the story. I'll rehash it real quick. I bought a pallet of cards from Goodwill. The first pallet back in January. There was some 2011 Topps cards, including some Diamond Anniversaries and some other random 2011 Topps in binder pages. And I'm thinking, what if? What if? And it was like day 3. I have a stack of cards in binder pages, like 87 Donruss and 87 Topps. But in the middle, there were like 2 random pages of not 87s, and they were 2011s. And in the top left corner was a 2011 Topps Update Mike Trout rookie card. Fortunately, it was in the top left corner. Well, unfortunately, we'll get to that in a second, because on the right top corner was, I think it was a Lou Gehrig insert card from that same set, and it was like bent in half, but the Trout rookie was unscathed, or so I thought. So I posted the video, the Mike Trout rookie. It was in a Goodwill lot. Boom, boom, boom. Several people, and I wanted to sell this to people, and I had a lot of people ask, people I knew that we could do a in-person deal, which I would have preferred. So I had a couple people lined up. First person, like, yep, we agreed on a price. I'll be at the Rockford Card Show. This was in what, February. And he takes a look, gets his loop out, takes a look. It's like, yeah, this is a really clean card. Corners are nice centering. All of a sudden, we get halfway down. There's a dent in the card. Uh-oh. So you can't see, like, just with the card flat on the surface, you can't see it. But if you put it in the light, you can see, like, yes, there's like a dimple, and you can feel it also. So the deal was scrapped. So I went to another person that was interested, offered it up at a discounted price, revealed, hey, there's this going on with it, turned it down. So my thought was, I'm just going to hold on to it until at least the lockout ends, because at that point, it's like the worst time to sell. We're in the middle of a lockout. It's the off season. Prices are down. So I'm going to hold on to it. DR says, wait, you mean you're telling me you're at 8:34 Eastern and you haven't talked about the title? Guess I'm not shocked. No, I have to do my monologue. I do 20, 30 minutes of monologue, and then we get to the title. It increases viewing hours, or whatever that is. And I'm sure it turns some people off as well. But I like my monologue. So I decided I'm going to keep it until baseball starts. So the lockout ends. Players are now reporting to spring training. I just decided a few days ago I'm going to monitor the pricing, and I've been monitoring it since I pulled it, just to see where the time spent listening. There you go. I'm going to see where the pricing is at, and the raw card prices have gone up considerably. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw this on eBay. For anything else, just to gather views to my eBay store. People come in, they're looking for a Mike Trout rookie. A lot of people are looking for Mike Trout rookie cards. They're going to come to my store. They're going to look at the Trout. Maybe they don't want it. They're going to search my store. What else does he have? So that was number one, the reason why I decided to list it on eBay. I had received some offers after the damage was disclosed, and I did the video and I tweeted it out. I received some offers, but they were really low. And I knew I could get more out of it because this is the worst time to sell. I don't think the damage is too terrible because the rest of the card is it's in great condition. Yeah, it's not a PSA 9, it's not a 10, but it's still a really nice card. Um, so I decided I'm going to list it on eBay, and I'm going to list it for a higher price than what I think it'll probably sell for. But I just want the views, and I'm going to open it up to offers. But I'm going to cut the offer. I'm going to accept a minimum offer. Anything below that number is going to be automatically declined, so I don't have to field $20 or $100 offers and just waste my time clicking decline, decline, decline. So, number one reason was I want to get more views to my eBay store, and hey, maybe I'll get an offer. And I had a number in mind. This is the number that I want to sell for, and so we'll see. So, full disclosure on all pricing here. My price listed for the Mike Trout with the damage, $750 or best offer. My minimum was 550. Now, I wasn't going to take 550. I set my number at 600. That was my minimum, but I figured 550 is close enough to that number. I'll counter, and I won't feel guilty about turning down, an offer, right? Right off the bat, where I think 550 is close enough to where I want to be. We can get somewhere, and I think I left some money on the table. I think I could have waited a little longer. I'm going to get more into why I accepted the offer I did. Um, so I'll get into that. So Jenny says 23 watching you do your show how you do it. People come in as you're doing your chat and then are all here when you get to the topic because they had a chance to show up. Bo has had that trout all done up in the window like the Red Ryder BB gun. So I'll go into how I listed it. I wanted to make sure there's going to be no issues with the potential buyer. I want to make sure that the damage is disclosed. It's there. Everybody knows. So, because there's nothing worse than somebody not reading a description or looking at the pictures and then wanting to return it because it's damaged. So I put it in the title. It's dented. I couldn't think of another word to describe what it was, but I think dented, certainly was good enough. But several pictures. I think I used 10 or 12 pictures. And I put it in the light so you could see, where the light hits it. It's, dented. I circled, put an arrow to it like this, but I close up pictures. The corners are nice. The centering is there, but here's the damage. Look at the damage. Don't buy this freaking card if you don't see this damage. I'm going to make it so clear that you're going to see it. So I 750 your best offer. Minimum bid that I would even entertain was 500, or minimum offer was 550. It was only up for 24 hours. I had several watchers. I did not extend any offers. I'm just going to let it ride. I'm going to collect offers basically. Now, the number in mind that I was going to pull the trigger on and I would sell it was 600. And that was basically the number all along. Full disclosure, $650 was my offer in hand cash at the card show back in February. And then I offered it up for 500. And that was cash in person to people. Olbermann did not buy the card. Olbermann bought a different card. Olbermann bought like a $2 card for me. I'd almost send a message to the buyer and say, hey, thanks for the purchase. Just want to verify. I actually, as soon as I accepted the offer, or as soon as I received the offer, I thought about doing that. That's a good point. I did think about doing that before I even accepted the offer, and I didn't. I should circle back before I ship it out today. I will send a message to make sure, hey, just to make sure you did see the pictures and read the description correct. Because it's all spelled out in the description. You can even see it. It's public information on eBay. Just do a sold search. Sincerely, Bo, listening to your show is one of the highlights of my day. You're the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So 750 or best offer. It was listed for about 24 hours. And then I received my first offer, and it was $600. And I thought about it. I think I was taking the dog for a walk, and I thought about it, and I'm like, do I counter And here's the issue with sometimes your first offer is the best offer. Um, but with a card like this, I do truly think I think I left some money on the table had I waited. I think the chances that it goes up are better than it goes down. Because I think the last couple months were the floor of the Trout rookie card prices. Because I think moving forward, it's gonna go up now, barring a catastrophic injury or something that would make it fall in price. But I think unlike when you look at prospect values, more times than not, that prospect value, unless you're Mike Trout, are gonna go down. Um, but I think the Trout is going to continue going up, and it's like it's only been online for 24 hours. Do I take it or not? Do I counter? What's my play here? I decided to accept the offer, $600, and here's why. That was the number. Don't get greedy. That was the number I established that I would take. I even told somebody DM'd me on Twitter back when the first sale fell through and the damage, we discovered the damage. And I think my offer from them was like 300 or 350. And I'm like, honestly, if I'm not really entertaining to sell it right now, the number it would take me to sell it would be 600. Um, so we were far off on price. So that's the number that's been established. Like, this is what I'm comfortable taking because I'm going to have to. And that's a deal. That's like a deal, an internet deal where there's fees, payment fees, and all that. So I would have taken 500 cash or 600 through eBay or PayPal or whatever, because I'd be eating some fees. So like my net after fees, 525, and then it's gonna cost to ship. So a little more than 500. And now you have viewers wondering why is he selling the Trout if he thinks it goes up from here in value? I can only assume because it's just not a Cub. So and that's what I'm getting to. So I bought this pallet of cards for 400. I think after tax it was like $420. So I had $420 invested in this 150,000 count lot of cards that happened to have a Mike Trout rookie card in it. I pulled enough cards out of there. I've already made a profit from that pallet. Now, yes, I'm in business to sell cards and I need to maximize profit. Um, but I also want to liquidate as fast as I can so I can continue buying inventory and scaling up, building up. If I sit on it for a year, I could have reinvested that $500-600 into other cards that I could have compounded through the months. If had I decided to wait. So that's one reason. I'm already in the green. 5 weeks, 6 weeks, about 5 weeks after purchase of that lot. So I'm already in the profit area of that particular lot. So this is all additional profit that I can use to reinvest in other inventory. And that was the price. 600 was the price that I had decided this is my let go price. This is what I'm willing to sell it for. So those are the main reasons. Sometimes your first offer is your best offer. Something happens. Mike Trout gets injured, and now, if that happens, which that could be, and he has been, had some injuries in the last couple of years. Now you have to wait. Look at the Tatis market, and he's very oft injured. And here you have to wait. Mike Trout gets injured, misses a couple months of the season. Now I'm sitting on the Mike Trout for another few months because my target was around the start of baseball season. So, within the next month or so to move it, liquidate it. Those are the reasons. Those were the reasons why I decided to move it when I did, even though it was only up on eBay for 24 hours. But it was at the right price that I was, on the low end of what I was willing to accept, but right in that range of I'm going to pull the trigger. Yes, I'm going to sell. And one other reason was my eBay store is going to be shut down for roughly a week, starting Monday. So, I need to like boost the sales. I need to sandbag these numbers uh, for March. I need to boost my sales here in the next few days um, because I won't have any income coming in for a bulk of next week. Monday through probably open the store back up Friday evening of next week. Um, or maybe Saturday, just kind of depends. So that was another reason where my income stops for a week, and I'll be spending way more than I'll be making next week as I'll be in Arizona for spring training and at a card show. So I can use some of that money in Phoenix at the big card show next Saturday. So that's why I sold it. That's kind of the psychology. There we go. That psychology kick behind deciding to sell the Mike Trout Goodwill dented rookie card. And I say, and I kind of want to add on to um, the first offer is sometimes the best offer. I've been snake bit a few times. Usually it's been with Allen and Ginter, where I've taken some. In fact, I pulled this would have been, I think, 2015 or 16. It was whatever year Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Piazza went into the Hall of Fame, 15 or 16. Um, and I pulled a booklet, a dual auto booklet of Piazza and Griffey numbered to 10 out of Allen and Ginter, a box. I think I bought 4 or 5 loose boxes, and that was in one of the boxes. And I think my first offer was, well, actually, it went to auction, and this is why I hate eBay auctions. The first auction, it sold for like 625 bucks. Well, it sold in theory. The person didn't pay. I had to open a non-pay, and that was a 7-day auction. I also learned my lesson on 7-day auctions. That was a 7-day auction, 2016. Thank you. C&M Collectibles, what's up? Good morning. So learned my lesson on that. So I wasted 7 days, and I put it on a second 7-day auction. And this time it sold for less. It sold for like 550. And guess what? Once again, the buyer didn't fricking pay. He is a seller before a collector, making a living. There you go. So there we go again. And I ended up, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna put it on for best offer. I think I received 2 offers at 400 by this point. This was like 3 weeks after release, after the non-paying auctions. Um, got it to like 400, and I'm like, no, I think my price was 500, and we get like a month or 5 weeks out, and I turned the $400 offers down, and I'm like, okay, I just want to liquidate. I just want to get my money. I'd already, and at this point I had already, and this is just at that point a hobby, so I'm just selling cards to buy more. So I'm like, I'm just gonna 99-cent auction, let it ride, and it sold for like $315. So had I done like 1-day auctions, I wouldn't have wasted all that time. I probably, had I strategized differently, I probably could have got that 500 or more out of that card back in 2016, but it ended up selling for 315, and I turned down the best offers of 400 and had to settle it at auction for 315. So that's why I'm a big proponent of, especially now, it seems like non-paying bidders are more rampant. If you do a 7-day auction and you get a non-paying bidder, that just wasted 7 days, especially on a new product. You just wasted 7 days of a hot market. So if you do a 1-day, so I'm especially on brand new product, I am 100% on board. Spend the dollar it costs to run a 24-hour auction on brand new hot products. And I'm talking Wander Franco. If I would have pulled a release week, a Wander Franco short print variation, whatever, that would have gone on a 24-hour auction, and let it ride. And hopefully the buyer, and if I got a non-paying bidder the first time, I learned my lesson. If it doesn't get paid after the first one, it's going to go on a high buy it now price, and I'm going to field offers and take the highest, first and highest one after like 24 hours. So that's kind of that's my strategy behind higher end cards, whether it's auction or buy it now. I just see so many that are buying for long-term investment, like if Trout is predicted to go up or Mac Jones, people grabbing those up. Bo has a different theory, not bad. Yeah, I'm not. I don't get caught up in the investment game. I mean, I do think, yeah, if we buy cards, we're investing our money in cards. So I'm gonna use that word. But I don't hold long term. The only long term holds I have are Cubs, and that's my collection. I don't long term hold really anything outside of, um, if I feel that I buy a card, in the off season, I'm just going to hold on to this for a few months, kind of like the Trout. I held on to it. It wasn't a long term hold, but it was a short term hold. So I'll do short term holds, but I don't keep any cards that I think have, I'm all about liquidating now, and if I leave money on the table, I mean, in all reality, maybe I left $50 or $100 on the table selling this card when I did. I really think that's all I'm out. And you have to take a look at the opportunity cost. What am I losing if I keep the card and make $50 in 2 months? What could I have used that cash on within that 2 months? And I think cash now is more important. And those are things you have to weigh. Now, if I think I'm leaving $1,000 on the table, then yeah, it's going to be a longer hold. But if I think it's just going to be 50, and I think that's everybody's, opinion and belief of where the market will lie. Um, but I'm not really a long-term thinker because too many things can happen in sports, torn ACLs and Tommy Johns and all that. So I don't like to get caught up in long-term holding on cards. And Ed says, yeah, Ed says it. Can't worry about what you leave on the table. Absolutely. And especially when you have a number, like I'm happy, like that was the number. I sold it for the number that I've had in mind for 2 months, or 6 weeks or 5 weeks, whatever it's been. So that's, kind of that's where I'm at. I'm in your boat. I'll sell now because injury can drop that card to $1 box overnight. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the story. The saga end. Well, it's still in my possession. It hasn't quite ended. I'll do a follow-up email to the buyer, make sure he's understanding of what this card is, even though it's well descripted and well photoed. And then I'll package it up, ship it out, and the Goodwill Mike Trout saga comes to an end. So that's what I had for today. Another almost hour show. Thanks so much. Join the bracket challenge. It's for bragging rights. Check it out. I'll post another link this morning just to get that link out there. Deadline to get your brackets in is 11 a.m. I believe. So I think we're closing in on 25 brackets, so we can brag in the chat tomorrow morning how our first day fared out. Are there going to be any big upsets today? I called it early on. I could see it. Now, in the bracket, I picked Iowa, but I would not be shocked if the Richmond Spiders pulled off some like March Madness voodoo magic. I think I could potentially see that happening. Nice show. Thank you. Thank you very much. Before you go, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, tell your friends. And thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for watching another awesome chat. I so much appreciate it. It is the highlight of my day, like just because I can just talk and we can bounce our opinions and share our thoughts in the chat room. It's been a lot of fun. Only comment is since you had already paid for the Goodwill lot, you were dealing with house money and it's not urgent to sell a card. Absolutely. And yes, that is exactly right. And that's why I was not in a hurry to move it in the last, few weeks, in the last month since the original deal fell through. Because I had a lot of offers come through. My DMs blew up on Twitter about wanting this card. And, I had a price, and some of the people that offered, I said, I'm not in any rush to sell it. Like I'm fully willing to keep it, for a couple months at least. So that's exactly where I was at. The whole lot it's bought and paid for. But this is my price. And when that price comes along, when that offer comes along, I do want to take it. I don't want to get greedy and hold out for, I might have to hold out another month just to make an extra, $50. And is that worth it when I could use that money to turn it into other inventory that I can move and keep that keep that snowball, picking up more and more snow and creating an avalanche. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Have a great Thursday. March Madness is upon us, and I'll tweet that link for the brackets, bragging rights, and we'll talk tomorrow and share our probably our pity in how our brackets are faring. Have a good one.